morning, Canada. My name is Oryah Bensalmon, and I am here today to inform you all about the way Canada works, some different kinds of governments, and a bunch of other factual information. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about democracy. A democracy is a government run by the people for the people.
The citizens of a democracy vote on elected representatives, and they have a say in the government. Some examples of these include Canada and the United States.
Now let's move on to another type of government, a dictatorship.
A dictatorship is a system of government run by one individual, by someone who has most likely gained his position with force, such as Hitler in Nazi Germany.
Now let's move on to anarchy.
Anarchy is when a government is overturned by its people and there is major chaos. There's no government or judicial system in place anymore, so rules do not exist and people do not know what to do with themselves. This happened in the Trumbleplex community in Detroit, Michigan.
This is a monarchy.
A monarchy is a government led by a king and or queen. You probably have seen an example of this in modern-day England.
Last but not least, let's talk about communist governments.
Communism is a system of government, which means that the government makes sure that all the citizens share their property and divide their profits among themselves, just like a kibbutz in Israel or in Cuba.
Now that we've finished talking about how the government system works, we can move on to how Canadian citizenship affects our lives today. Come on! Learning about Canadian citizenship is very important and can affect your everyday life. Watch while I prove an ignorant American wrong.
Good day, sir. I'm a Canadian citizen.
Actually, I've known you my whole life, and you are not a Canadian citizen because you were not born in Canada and you haven't taken your citizenship test yet.
Well, joke's on you. I live in Canada, which makes me a Canadian citizen.
Actually, living in Canada doesn't make you a Canadian citizen. To be a Canadian citizen, you have to have either been born in Canada or take your citizenship test and vow an oath to the Queen. Another way to use your knowledge of civics and citizenship is to use it during the voting process. Without this vital education, you would not be able to participate and voice your votes in Canada. You can also use your Canadian citizenship knowledge for many careers, such as becoming an MP, becoming a lawyer, or becoming a judge. In fact, after going through civics and learning about the judicial system, I have spiked an interest in becoming a judge. Judges are the base around the judicial system in Canada, and they decide who is guilty and who is not in a court of law. This is another job someone can look into while learning about the Canadian government and citizenship. Let's move on to democratic citizenship. Being a democratic citizen means that you have the responsibility to vote and participate in the electoral process. Right now, there is a provincial election happening, and anyone eligible should participate and become informed about the election.
Who are you planning on voting for this year's election season?
I'm planning on voting for Gila Martow of the Ontario PC Party.
Are you eligible to vote?
Yes, I am eligible to vote because I'm over 18, a Canadian citizen, and I'm registered to vote.
That's great. Thank you for being a democratic citizen.
Another part of being a democratic citizen is making sure you contribute to your community and environment in a positive way. For example, make sure not to litter and recycle every time you can. Another way to reduce the fossil fuels and to be a good democratic citizen is to carpool or take public transit. This leads us into our next topic, the rights and responsibilities of a Canadian.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Some rights Canadian citizens possess are the right to run for office, to vote, to travel within Canada, and freedom of speech. Although we have these rights, they do have certain restrictions that we have to observe that are attached to them. For example, we can only vote once we're 18 years old, and we can only have freedom of speech if we do not promote hate within our speech. While we have these rights, we also have responsibilities that come with these rights. We have a responsibility to vote, and we have a responsibility to help those in need in our community in a positive way. We also have to respect and care for the environment as a responsibility to our country. Now let's talk about ways to get involved through civic opportunities. You can volunteer, like cleaning up old people's backyards. You can volunteer to run and participate in runs or walks or marathons. You can vote for a member of parliament. You can also raise money for special charities and be a global citizen. One civic issue I'm concerned about is the idea of recycling. I think that people don't pay enough attention to what they recycle, and some people do not have access to recycling bins either. To fix this problem, I would spread more awareness about recycling and the negative effects of throwing everything in the same garbage. Some of these negative effects include, but are not limited to, pollution from fumes emitted from garbage dumps and higher prices citizens pay for garbage pickup. With my initiative in mind, Canadians will benefit immensely, and so will the environment. All in all, being an informed citizen is an important part of Canadian life, and it will benefit you and everyone around you.